Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raka'ah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Raka'ah Kodash. And this one here is just going into, some of the events that took place around the world that the Simpsons had so-called predicted. Right? And, you had to come to the understanding when it comes to these shows and whatnot is that it's not that they are predicting stuff, is that Edom, so-called white man, the elite study, they are actually using these different avenues to show you what is about to take place, what is about to happen very soon. Alright? So, before I play this video, I'm going to just get something real quick. Alright, I like to bring out this time and time again, when it comes to these type of videos and whatnot. Alright, now in it says, the elites do tell us through their books and publications, movies and news release what they are doing. This is called revelation of the method. If you are too stupid to recognize it for what it is, that is your problem. From their point of view, it is a form of ritual mocking of the victim. Alright, who's the victim right now? Jake. Alright, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians today. Alright? And these other nations is what? Is the heathen nations. Now we have some of our people are scattered among these other nations. They look like the heathen nations and so forth. Alright? So let's get to the video. Lord.
Language. But even so,
it's nothing serious. Just lay off the chili and you should be fine.
It looks like you're burning money.
I know. Talk to someone else.
all right, let's be real for a second. Either the Simpsons writers have access to some time-traveling device, or they're just too good at guessing the future. And the more I talk about these have access to some time-traveling device, or they're just too good at guessing the future.
If they're too good at guessing the future, as I brought it out just now, these devils and them, they know what they are doing. They, for these shows to air on television, and so forth, it has to go through them first. Alright? And they controlling all these different stuff and whatnot. They show a lot of their plans in cartoons especially. Alright, a lot of these cartoons, it is target little children basically. Alright, they start here from young.
Traveling device, or they're just too good at guessing future. And the more I talk about these predictions, the harder it is to believe in coincidences.
You're here for one reason and one reason only, to create a pseudo-currency like the Bitcoin.
Today, we're diving into some of the most terrifying predictions made by The Simpsons. Ones that make you question if this is just a cartoon or something more sinister. And trust me, you don't want to miss this last one. The Los Angeles wildfires. Wildfires tearing through California. It's a tragic reality that seems to happen year after year. But when a Simpsons episode from 2007 eerily mirrored these events, fans lost their minds. I mean, could the show have predicted the devastating Los Angeles wildfires? Well, not exactly. But let's break it down. In season 18, episode 12, titled Little Big Girl, Springfield is hit with a massive fire, threatening the town and its residents. The scenes? It's uncomfortably close to what's been happening in LA. We're talking about flames consuming entire areas, firefighters struggling to contain them, and a community scrambling to survive.
And we all know the outcome of that and why it is there was pushing for these different things to happen, you know. It's because they basically want to create a smart city, you know, in California over there, you know, where they basically burn down, you know. And this devil works. This is the works of Esau Edom, alright, the so-called white man. Alright, let me just get my script here real quick. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand." Alright, it is in the power of these devils' hand. You know, they are they call the shots, you know, them is the shot callers and whatnot in this time right now. Alright, that's why you're seeing so many different things taking place. You know, they pushing this wickedness. You know, they pushing all these people to come against each other and whatnot. You know, they causing these things to happen. Verse 2. It says, "And they covered fields and take them by violence." Alright, this is what you see took place in that place called California over there in LA, you know, where you know, all the bushfire and all these things took place. This is what Esau was doing, you know, to get the people out of the area. He took the land, but how he took it by violence. Alright, not new under the sun. Alright, what has been working for them back then in the days of old, it is still working for them in this time. Alright. Verse 2 again, it says, "And they covered fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage." Alright, and this is what we see taking place. Alright.
And a community scrambling to survive. And before you ask, yes, someone on TikTok already made the connection. Putting the clips side by side, and the resemblance is shocking. The video exploded online, and the comments, exactly what you'd expect. People were freaking out, saying things like, "How did they know?" and "The Simpsons should do an episode about world peace so it happens." I mean, that's not a bad idea, right? Now, before we start...
And something he asked just now, you know, how do they know? They know because basically this is the elite show. You know, this is a show that they use to basically bring across what they want to do, what is their plans, you know, but they do it in a form of cartoon. Alright? Now when you watch things in cartoon form, you know, it play tricks on your mind because it's something that is not really real, right? It's not real people in it and whatnot. You know, it's colorful and whatnot. It catch your eyes fast and these things, you know. They might have a little comedy in it and whatnot. But it's the message that they are showing. And a lot of people don't look at the messages. You know, a lot of people, they just look at the cartoon because how colorful it is or how cool the drawing is or whatever the case may be, you know. But they don't really read between the lines. They don't really look at the message. And the message is what's important. All right.
Suspecting the Simpsons of witchcraft, let's take a step back. Experts argue that this isn't some supernatural prophecy. It's just really smart writing. Think about it. California has always struggled with wildfires. Climate change, drought, and environmental factors make it an ongoing crisis. The show simply picked up on an issue that was bound to happen again. The Pacific Palisades area alone has seen multiple major fires in recent years. So was this really a prediction, or just The Simpsons being hyper-aware of real-world issues? Wildfires aren't the only thing The Simpsons may have seen coming, because while their fiery prediction turned out to be more about smart writing than magic, their next one, it's straight up bizarre. What if I told you the future of food might not even involve real food at all? Sounds crazy, right? Well,
it's green and sparkly. It's tingly in my mouth. This is magical.
Not if you've seen the episode where Homer and Marge are literally eating in virtual reality. And here's the wild part. It's happening. Virtual reality food. Okay.
And it's showing everything to you. You're basically doing what? Mocking you. Again, look the little writing here. It says the elites do tell us through their books and publications, movies and news release what they are doing. This is called revelation. Revelation goes into what? Reveal, basically revealing onto you what it is they're doing. Revelation of the method. If you are too stupid to recognize it for what it is, that is your problem. From their point of view, it is a form of ritual mocking of the victim. Alright? This is just it for Esau. This is how he thinks. You have a carnal way of thinking and doing stuff.
Okay, let's talk about food, because who doesn't love food? But what if I told you that The Simpsons predicted a future where we don't even need to eat real food anymore? Yeah, I know. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but hold on. In this episode, Homer and Marge are seen wearing virtual reality headsets, feeding each other digital fudge through straws. I mean, if that's not the weirdest way to enjoy dessert, I don't know what is.
Virtual fudge tastes like crap.
But here's where it gets...
And this is to show you how foolish our people is, They trust, the scripture said the simple believe it, everything. Alright? And these devils, they come up with the technology to basically what? Catch Jake. So, they show it on one of everyone's favorite show. The Simpsons. They show it on that. And they basically using gradualism to catch you, to get you into that, seeing it, get you into that way of thinking and whatnot, trusting and believing in them, in their stuff. Alright? That's what taking place there.
It's interesting, because this is happening. Believe it or not, there's a real-world version of this, and it's called Aero Banquets RMX. And trust me, it's wild. Imagine sitting at a fancy restaurant, but instead of your regular plate of food, you're strapped into a VR headset and transported into a completely different world while you eat. Sounds like something from a futuristic dream, right?
Right.
Aero Banquets RMX combines French cuisine with cutting-edge VR technology, creating an experience unlike anything else. Your senses are completely immersed. Sight, sound, smell, taste, everything. One moment you're savoring a fine meal, the next you're visually exploring an underwater world.
And these people sitting down pretending they're eating, you know, and feeling like they're eating and whatnot. But you know, this is all the deception of this devil, Esau Edom. Alright? And our people like this kind of deception. They like lies, they like fables, they like foolishness. You know? And that's why they're going to be destroyed. Alright? Because they trust in the enemy. You know, this enemy who sit behind closed doors and set up his councils and whatnot, you know, and come to try to basically destroy you somehow. Alright? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29. And verse 15, it says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and their works are in the dark. And they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?" Alright, this is what they're asking. You know, who to see them? Who could see them? Guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is seeing you. Actually, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is the one that controlling them. Alright, Proverbs 21 and 1. You know, the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. He turn it whithersoever he will. Alright? So the Lord is the one who in control, really. Alright? Not these devils. They believe that they in control. You know, but they're really not.
World, or floating through space. And let's be honest, if this had been introduced before The Simpsons aired that episode, people would have thought it was a joke. And this isn't just some niche experience. VR dining is becoming a real thing. Restaurants are already experimenting with ways to transport diners to places they could never visit in real life.
Anyway,
Imagine sipping wine while virtually walking through a vineyard in Italy, or eating seafood while seeing and hearing the ocean waves crash around you. This kind of immersive dining isn't just entertainment. It's a way to completely change how we experience food.
Not half as good as Cyber Fudge.
And honestly, it makes me wonder, if The Simpsons already showed us this years ago, then what's next? So, virtual food might sound like science fiction, but it's already happening.
what a bleak, horrible future we live in!
Don't you mean present?
And if The Simpsons got that right, what else have they predicted that's even more unbelievable?
So you see what I'm talking about, where they're showing this stuff in these shows, you know, and bringing it to pass after. You know, basically using gradualism to get you accustomed to these things. So when they do bring it across now, it wouldn't be something so strange in your eyes that you're afraid to use it or whatnot, because you already know, you already have the understanding of what it is about. Alright? So we're living in a more modern time, you know, where a lot of technology is growing more and more. You know, the Lord is speeding up the time because of the elect seek. You know, we're reaching that time where we are about to see Yahushai crack those skies. Alright? Alright, there's let's go to the book of Psalms real quick. You know, there's nothing too long, there's some short. The Psalms chapter 64. And let's start from verse 5 for the essence of time. It says, "They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune in lying snares, privily," meaning what? Privately. Alright? They commune in lying snares, you know, in traps. They say, who shall see them? Alright? That's the question they're asking. Who shall see them? The Lord's eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. You know, the Lord have chariots on the four corners of the earth. Alright? Always paying attention on what's taking place around the earth. Alright? So, everyone is getting meek out. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Alright? Both the inward thoughts of every one of them and the heart is deep. The mind is very, very deep. This is how these devils are today. Alright? They will continue doing wickedness until Yahweh shall return. Alright? And take them out. Let's see one more. This is Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 23 and 24. It says here, can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? The Lord asking a question here. Alright? Saith the Lord Yahweh, do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord Yahweh. Alright, the Lord is everywhere. Alright, and he's seeing the works of these devils today. You know, he's seeing what it is they're about, what it is they're trying to accomplish. Alright? So they could hide as much as they want and pretend that, you know, they seeking your best interest and whatnot, but they lie. Alright, they lie. Alright, so with that, I guess I will end it there. Alright, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great milestone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the faithful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan shining out, and I will say Shalom.